Okay, so I get at least 2 emails a month asking to do this. So we're going to do it. This is installing the fire control group. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the hammer, and if the spring's not attached, look on the back of it. You see a little notch here. The way you want to put this together is the loop on the spring right here where it goes forward. You're going to want to put this in the loop so that the spring catches that little saddle there. And a little trick to make the hammer easier to install into the receiver so you're not fighting the spring is to do what some people call setting a mouse trap, where you take the arms of the spring and put them behind the edge of the hammer, like that. When you grab this, be very careful. Don't squeeze it up here or you're going to cut your fingers open. You'll actually spread them apart. Always hold it below the hammer notch like that. So the first thing you want to do is take the hammer. I apologize for the camera angle. I couldn't think of any other way to do this and actually use more than 2 hands. So, or not use more than 2 hands. Anyway, so what you do is take the hammer very carefully, without grabbing it up here, just slide it into the receiver. Until the holes line up. Take one of your axis pins, slide it in. You have to look at the other side to see that it lines up. Like that. Sometimes the Nodax bud receivers are just a little bit tight on the hole, so I just give it a slight tap with a hammer to let it in there. And if you've clearanced your selector lever, I usually don't, but if you do, you can put the trigger in first. But if you haven't, then just make it easier on yourself. Install the selector lever first. Again, sometimes these are a little tight on these new receivers. Next step, grab the fire control group. If it's a Tapco G2, you're going to want to take the disconnector spring out of your parts kit, install it in the disconnector, then take the trigger. You'll see there's a little recess in the bottom there. Take the spring. Usually works best if you hold it upside down. Put the edge of the spring in, or the bottom of the spring in that little recess. And there's this tube that comes with the or bushing that comes with the trigger. Slide that in. Holds the trigger together. Take that trigger. Drop it into the receiver, so that the tube lines up with the holes on the receiver. Slide in the axis pin. You have to lift the trigger a little bit to actually get it to line up on the other side, and make sure that the little notch for the retainer doesn't get caught in the edge of the receiver. That makes it hard to push the pin through. Just kind of nudge it a little bit, and then it goes right in. And you can use the retainer of your choice to put it in. I prefer the little bobby pin style here. And you just take that, slide it under. Get it lined up on the side of the receiver here. And push it down so that the end of it goes under the hammer pin. And just slide it forward. And I usually like to take a screwdriver and just kind of just gently pry it in. You don't. I mean, you shouldn't be prying very hard here at all. Just gently slide it in, and then you're done. And that's it for that part. Then you take the springs and just very carefully let them go. And that's it. One installed trigger. Try not to pull the trigger at this point, because you really don't want you don't want it slamming into that center support. I mean, it's not going to hurt it one time, but it's just not a good habit.